Hey, everybody. Welcome to I Can't Believe I'm Saying This, episode 2 of the Boiling Point Faith and Fire podcast. This is where conviction meets confrontation. I believe faith is a call to arms. At the boiling point, we stop sugarcoating the truth. We're going to burn through the fear and we're going to choose God over the opinions of men. Okay. Faith is what really shapes your values. Politics shapes your future. Silence hands the mic to the enemy. So here, I think our we're trying to connect the dots with faith and fire and politics and literally expose the truth one ugly headline at a time. Quick little housekeeping. Make sure you guys scroll the show notes today for important links to take the power of your health back. Take your own personal stand against big pharma. Step into the power and potential of a better you. Healthy you is a better you. Also, my co-host and partner in crime, Rory Paquette, just happens to be a well sought after podcast coach. So if you're listening to us today and you're thinking, if they can do this, I can do this. You're 100% right, but a little help along the way isn't going to hurt you. So make sure you check the notes, reach out, see how he can help you. And one more disclaimer because I didn't even say hi to Rory this morning, you guys. I'm just going to do this disclaimer for like whatever reason, but everything you hear us talk about, we're just going to say it's literally for entertainment. Okay. Crazy theories, Bible takeaways, our opinions on government stuff. We are not here to issue legal or political advice. It's just our own truth. So toss the rest, entertainment purposes. But really, I think the core. I woke up. I prayed about this. I think the core of today is really like I want you guys to be empowered for us to force the government to give this country back to its people.
Mm, I love that. Good morning, by the way. I absolutely love that.
Hi.
Absolutely love that. I was thinking, somebody called me the Robin Hood of podcasting a while ago,
Ooh.
and I've kind of had some fun with that. But then it kind of came to me, it's like that's a lot like what we're doing here,
Yeah.
where we're like taking the power away from the elites and
Mhm.
that real small group that seems to want to control everything, and trying to give it back to the people. And all we're doing is saying, like you said, we're not telling you, look, this is it, this is gospel. We're saying, have you ever thought about this? Maybe you should.
Yeah.
Maybe you should look at this. Take just open your mind a little bit. So I love the disclaimer. I didn't know that was coming, but man, that was very well done.
I thought about it because listen, you guys, I've not slept. I went down a rabbit hole last night of, when I talked to Rory about this idea, I've been curious about Q for a very long time. And what I do every single day, because my husband works with someone who is very, he knows so much. And every single day, it never fails. I'm like, what did he say about Q today? What's going on with Q? What are they saying? Like, I'm literally just like so curious. And I thought, why can't I research this stuff for myself? Do you know a lot about Q?
Some, got to be honest with you.
Okay.
I looked up what it was when it was becoming an issue. Like
Yeah.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, for instance, was
Oh,
quoted a lot of
love
that
her.
stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so when she started quoting it, I looked it up to find out what it was.
Mm-hmm.
They're like everybody else that's gotten completely butchered by the left. And
Yeah.
whenever you have any kind of idea that goes against the left government and their policies and everything else, well, they just say, "Oh, well, you're a conspiracy theorist. You got a tinfoil hat on." A lot of the stuff that comes from
Right.
there makes you think. So yeah, I know that.
I want to tell you guys, okay. So I've been just reading about them. I've been listening to people this morning. Um, here's the thing. I read this book by Napoleon Hill called Outwitting the Devil. If you guys haven't read this, okay, go read it. Go read it because everything that Q says, like if I was the devil, this is being played out perfectly. And a lot of people that question, like, that think Q is such an extremist and extremist group, and they're so far off. I mean, when I went down the rabbit hole, I'm thinking about Hollywood, right? Because Q kind of sets up like it's an act. It's a movie being written. It's a movie script, and I feel like everything in our life aligns with that. And if you look at what happens, there's a movie called Snake Eyes. that I saw people talking about on one of the Charlie Kirk threads. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, I don't think I've ever watched it. If I did, I I didn't lock it in the vault. But I'll just give you guys a quick thing. This is Charles Kirkland gets shot in the neck. Same name. I mean, Charles Kirkland. Come on, Charles Kirk. Like, it's weird. It's weird. So I went down this huge rabbit hole of like movies of current events that are happening. And what I know to be true from what I hear people say is that they have to tell you what they're going to do.
Why?
I don't know the why. I think it's
Okay.
part of that balance of the Satan worshipers, the cabal. I think part of the arrangement is that you have to be honest with what you're doing. I think it was part of that spiritual battle of God and Satan doing their thing and God
Hmm.
saying, I'm gonna hold you. You have to tell them what you're gonna do. That's the only deal.
Interesting. I mean, that plays into a lot of other theories and a lot of other things that are true. I'm thinking of two things. First, of course, it plays into the free will because
Mm-hmm.
then we as people down here on Earth,
The
we are say
choice.
right, we're making the choice to say, okay, go ahead and do it. So we can't really fight back on it. And the other thing is that you get more mythological. That's like the vampire thing where they have to be invited into the house, type of deal in order to get into the house. So they try to trick you into inviting them into the house. That's from one of the devil worshipping publications, like straight out of it. And you have to invite the devil into you for him to get into you. And we don't always know that we're doing that. So that's interesting the way that plays along all of those different threads. You're
Right.
pulling on a lot of threads right now, lady. We just started.
I know. I know. I'm telling you. And the no sleep probably isn't helping. It's so funny because I told Roy, I'm like, I get so squirrel brain. I need bullet points. Like I need the just to stay on track. I need that. And he laughs this morning. He's like, you don't. You guys, I do. Especially today, because there is so much. I have uncovered so much, like the why, who they are, what they believe. And I don't think there's anybody with common sense. I will say common sense because I think, there's such a lack for that right now that I would say if you have common sense and you really look at this, yeah, some of it pretty far fetched. Like, do I really believe there are lizard people? I don't know. I'm not going to say there's not, but also I'm like, I don't know. So I don't know how far like I would believe everything, but if you just take the bits and pieces of the truth and what they've shown us and you line everything up, and I'll say this, like they Trump is part of their plan, an inside savior. And
That I can
there
get
are
behind.
times, yeah, there are times
Yeah.
where I see that and there's times where I don't. Well, now today, I'm going to tell you guys I wholeheartedly believe he is because if you look at the things that have happened this week, I mean, him and RFK took on Big Pharma. He took on the UN. He called out the UN for their bullshit about our border crisis. If you're being paid by like Soros money and all these evil guys, like you don't get to do that. You don't get to talk against their weapons, you know? And they've
Right.
weaponized the UN.
Yeah.
So I do, I really do think that he's part of this. Not to mention,
Hmm.
can I just say, I love, love, love. Did you guys see? If you have not seen it, you have to look at the hallway in the White House because right between his first presidency and his second presidency, he posted a picture of an auto pin. Did you guys see that? Did you see that, Rory? Like,
Yeah, it did. I did. I mean, the auto pen did more work than Joe. So,
it
I
did. And it's
understand.
so funny because you know how many people like he just does it because you guys like freak out. Like that Trump derangement syndrome
Yep.
is so real. It's so real. I I saw just now, right when I'm waiting for you, I pick up my phone and I'm starting to scroll on Facebook. The first post I see is a pregnant woman who allegedly, we're saying
Oh,
allegedly, kids, OD'd
right.
on Tylenol, trying to prove Trump wrong. Uh, this is true. She's now on a ventilator with liver failure.
Yeah.
She's like 20 in her 25 weeks pregnant. So it's not a freak accident.
No, she really did OD on it though, too. I mean, she wasn't
Uh-huh.
like taking, one or two every 6 hours. I mean, she was
Uh-uh.
pounding them, trying to prove that Trump wasn't a doctor. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I, none of this stuff came from Trump. Didn't go run a bunch of tests and go, "Hey, I have discovered that Tylenol will do this." He
Hmm.
was just simply talking about what had happened. But the TDS is so real that people go, "If
Yes.
Trump said it, I have to go prove it wrong." And then this
Yes.
happens. I don't. It's there's a level of fanaticism at this point
It's
that is
crazy.
on
And
that side that is nuts.
it's
Yeah,
not even about politics at this point. Like these are human lives. Like human lives. If you are mad at a politician, never in my mind have I been so mad at a politician that I would do something to try to prove a point with my body.
right. Do yourself bodily harm, harm you and your family.
It is crazy.
It makes no sense at
Like
all.
people are taking all this crazy social media stuff and it's like a lab experiment. We're the lab experiment and like you guys are really lab experiments. Like they're playing a game with us. I get that. But you guys, like, and nobody's cheering for this. Nobody's like, I didn't see anybody like that's what she gets. We just
No,
don't do that.
no,
We
of
don't
course not.
do that. Look at how different. I believe you guys that we are on the right side of history.
I think that that's being written as we speak.
Hmm.
So, I would agree with you on that.
Yeah,
You took a really deep dive last night.
I
I
did.
mean, my goodness, someone needs to like take the phone out of your hand at some point and say, Brandon, go to
Right.
bed, close your
Quit.
eyes, get some sleep.
And I did.
So,
Uh, I put it down for a minute and I was just like, really, who are they? I'm so curious about what they say every day. So I wanted just to really get to the core of who they are. And it will take me years to really teach you guys about what they are. But you've got all of these elite Satan worshiping pedophiles in Hollywood. That's a real thing. I don't think anybody at this point is denying that on either side. I really don't.
no.
I've heard it come from both sides. And then we have these DC deep state puppets, like the globalist overlords, really pulling strings.
Yeah. When you look at that stuff,
Yeah.
especially and I hate to even be using the words, but especially the pedophile stuff and the
Yeah.
Epstein list and all these other things that have been flying around.
Hmm.
If all you do is if you scrape all the nonsense away,
Hmm.
let's just deal with the list for a minute, okay? Because that's one of the big things that's linked to the whole pedophilia deal. If all you do is just scrape all the nonsense away, the list is public to the people who have seen it in the government. So there's
Correct.
people in the government who have seen it. Just because they haven't released it to us doesn't mean the FBI hasn't seen it, and the president and vice president and leaders in Congress, they've all seen it.
Correct.
So if it was damning to Biden and to the left, the right would have made sure they pushed it out immediately as soon as
Correct.
they got power. If it was damning to the right, to Trump or to any of those guys, the left would have already buried them with it
Hmm.
before the election. So it's been around for a long time, and neither side will do anything with it. So that
That
really is the
should
question at this point.
terrify you.
Yeah.
That
I
should
mean,
terrify all of us.
either everybody's on it,
Exactly.
and it's like mutually assured destruction type of
Right.
situation, or there's people on it that both sides are deathly afraid of.
And it's incredibly damning to where the US could potentially go. So I believe
Right.
that. I don't, I'm Trump, he was never a politician. He was never a politician. And that's why he had
No.
my trust. That's why he had my support. There was a minute there that I thought maybe he's bought and paid for. But at the end of the day, when I'm doing this research today and I'm thinking, what if he is the white hat command? Like, what if he is the hero? Not our savior kids. Okay. We've only got one of
Right.
those. I'm
Big
talking
difference.
about someone who's going to lead the people.
Hmm.
He is our leader right now in an army. as the army, he's the head of everything. So I think he cares about the United States so much that there is something that if he doesn't get things in place, it's going to be catastrophic to a country that he loves. So, yeah, I think he's protecting us. I don't think Biden has ever cared. I think he's bought and paid for. I do think, I think that this Clinton and their body count it's insane to me. I think adrenochrome farms are really happening. This starts with our babies. And if you guys, I know I heard a while back about the underground tunnels, not just in the United States, but other countries where they're trafficking kids
Hmm. Well, that may be true, but they don't even have to do that, honestly, because they can do it in broad daylight and nobody's
and
going to
they're
stop them.
they're doing it. They
Yeah.
definitely are.
So I've never understood that one either.
Yeah.
If I had an idea a long time ago, just to be on this point,
Yeah.
that actually wrote a paper on and got it published. But the issue was, and it was securing your borders, eliminating, human trafficking, at its core, and something that both sides could completely agree on. And it was close the borders. Every single thing coming and going out of the country gets inspected. Yes, that would take forever unless you had an army of people employed by the government to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't that satisfy everything that both sides want? I mean, all these government jobs, all these government workers, all this government spending,
Right.
but completely locked down borders. Nothing comes or goes without being looked over and inspected. I mean, mass employment of customs people,
Right.
right, in order to check everything in and out, unlock every crate, unlock
Mm-hmm.
every single cargo storage bin, and look at it. I mean, if
Right.
there are people in there, then you stop it. If there aren't, you keep going. It's
Right.
just, it would be the most massive, most comprehensive from both sides, just shut everything down. And not one single politician can get behind that idea because
Because
they lose a piece of power.
donors, yeah, donors'
Yeah.
lives matter. Like the
It's
biggest
insane.
donor has the most power. And that's what we've come to. That's why I think it is so important today, because this is a day where I really want you guys to feel inspired or empowered to take our country back. There's more of us than them. I mean, that's the truth.
Yeah.
Like it's this is what Q ideally is that it's supposed to be this like a slow burn psyop
Mhm.
to expose the deep state, the cabal, the satanic cults without sparking total chaos, but total chaos is coming regardless. I really think.
Yeah, I spend a lot of time talking to Christians, on
Yeah.
various shows that I have and in the work that I do and everything else. And you're not going to come across a single Christian who's going to tell you they don't believe that the devil exists. There isn't a single one who's going to say,
No.
no, that doesn't happen, and no, there's no spiritual warfare, and, I have nothing to worry about. No, every one of us knows, exactly what the score is and what we're up against. But then when you take it that one step to the right or to the left, and you go, okay, well then, if the devil does exist, if there are these forces working against us, okay, and trying to break us from God, well then doesn't this make sense over here? And it wouldn't it make sense for that? And people go, no, 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 wait, wait, wait.
Right.
I can't apply it to anything else. I'm just going to believe there's the devil and he wants to do some harm, but I'm not going to acknowledge any of the harm he might be doing. It's just
Right.
this wall because we don't want to, we want to believe it and we want to feel it and we want to go to church and feel like we're protected from it, but we don't want to open our eyes to see it.
Right.
We don't want to acknowledge that it's in our front yard. And we're
Right.
like, whoa, it's at my door. What do I do now? Because we can't handle that. We just can't process that sort of
Right.
fear and knowing, and I think that's a big thing is to start pointing that out to folks. The devil's very active in what he's
Very.
doing with everybody.
Mhm.
You've named, I don't even know how many things since we started,
Right.
where he's got his hands full in it, and he's washing them in that
Hmm.
child trafficking, human
Right.
trafficking, everything else. I just, it's all coming from somewhere.
Right.
And if you look at it and you say, all right, well, where's it coming from and why? If you ever start asking why, I mean, that rabbit hole, I don't know if you'll be able to come out of it. You got to like tie a rope around you before you dive down that one so someone can pull you out. Because I
Yeah.
don't know if you come back from asking why behind
Right.
everything. You know what I mean? It's hard enough just to admit that it is.
it's natural for me to ask the why. It's
Yeah.
natural for me. And it really is, it comes down to that spiritual battle. And so many people have lost their souls. So there's like nothing. They don't have anything ringing them back in. It's just
Yeah.
they're out there. And I think locking down the borders, I mean, that's exactly what Trump is saying that triggered everybody about what he said about the UN when he made his speech the other day. That's they're supposed to be the ones bringing peace, and they're destroying us literally
Yeah.
with the open borders. What if, and it doesn't even have to be forever, like you said, we shut every single thing down? What if we like take care of America first?
Wait.
Imagine that.
America first?
Yeah,
Oh my goodness. Wait.
imagine. Why
We
is
just
that
got thrown off the
so
airwaves.
horrifying for people? Like, why is that such a complicated concept of supporting the country that we live in? And I mean, the people that are coming here, like America, I listened to a podcast the other day and they're like, when was America ever great? Because Trump is talking about making America great again. And this guy is like, America was great when people came here because they wanted to be American. They came here because they wanted the freedom and they wanted to learn the English and the culture.
Yeah.
That's why people came to America. Is there freedom of religion? Absolutely. Do whatever you want, but we came here to be American. So everybody that's very up in arms about illegal immigrants, illegal, it is a
Hmm.
law
Hmm.
to not come here undocumented.
Yep.
We're supporting people breaking the law to be here, and the people that are here don't care to learn the culture. They don't care to learn the language, and they want to make it the country that they came from, which is so confusing to me. Like, if you love your culture and your heritage and your country so much, why wouldn't you stay there? I've never gotten a direct answer for that from anyone.
I was going to say, I'm not sure. I think in a lot of cases, you're right on about people want to change the country. I also think that in a lot of cases, that's not the case.
Yeah.
I think it's being blown up by the media really badly. Like all these folks who are out there protesting the illegal immigrants getting rounded up, right?
Yeah.
And they're waving the Mexico flag. They're being gaslighted to do that, or they're being paid to do that. They,
Oh,
they
for
don't
sure.
really want to go back to Mexico and be under some other regime. But I get exactly what you're saying, and it's like if you come here, you're assimilating. It's that's why you
Right.
go to a country. I don't go to France and then say, well, how come you can't speak English and serve hot dogs and hamburgers when I want them? I went to a different country. I
Right.
have to go assimilate over there. We're the
Right.
only country really that launched that whole idea. But what you're seeing right now in terms of wanting to change the country
Mm-hmm.
is kind of like what's happening in Dearborn, Michigan.
I mean, if we're putting another language on cop cars, like that's
Yeah. That's a
what?
takeover. That is, and it's not just Dearborn. Dearborn is a launching point
Yeah.
from the center north of the country. And there are launching points like that all over the country when you look at what's happening. And if you want to know what it's going to look like in a year or two, you just got to look at Britain. They have lost that country. They elected people into power that were of Muslim descent that decided they wanted to go ahead and impose Muslim religion on everyone.
Yeah.
It is illegal to stand outside and preach Christianity because they have now labeled it hate speech.
And that's real because I've not gone
It's
down
real.
that rabbit hole.
That's completely real. I mean, there's documentation everywhere. It's not just some Facebook video where somebody says something. It's all over the place. People are being arrested because they
Oh,
are posting something that, on social media that is nationalistic. I mean, they go to the home of a 13-year-old girl and the mom videos the whole thing. And there's two female cops who are like, we're coming in your house unlawfully and taking her phone.
wow.
That's how far they've gone. I mean, they're done because from the top, they let them get in. They let them get in, they let them take over, let them change the laws. And now you have whether or not Sharia law should be imposed throughout Great Britain and people of Muslim descent should be able to govern themselves according to Sharia law and not follow the laws of the country. And that's before Parliament being discussed in Parliament.
Wow.
So that's how bad it's gone. They don't have a Trump. They couldn't get themselves a Trump. We had one who showed up, and you've got the Ilhan Omars of the world out there
Yeah.
who shouldn't even be here.
No.
Came here illegally. Got her green card illegally. I'm sorry, but I don't care if you're a sitting congressman or not. You should go,
Right.
and that's it.
What does Letitia say? No one is above the law. So it doesn't
Right.
matter if you're in Congress. Oh, Letitia, they are on her today. I
Yeah,
heard a few
she's having a
times
bad day.
there. She's
She's
and
really
they
having a bad
attack
day.
her. I mean, they don't mess around. She asked for it. I mean, you can't
Yeah.
weaponize our government and think that someday there will not be a great rising. Like this is part of that where they think we're stupid and they've mocked us. And because we have been the true party of peace, because we haven't rebelled, because we haven't acted out, they just continue.
Yeah. Yeah. The what is it, the president or the prime minister? I don't know her exact title. The leader, though, of Italy. So I want to
Okay.
say she's the president over there, but she has been very vocal because she's following Trump's lead on everything. She's wiping out wokeism. She's, leave. They're talking about leaving the UN. They're going to do whatever the United States does because she sees that and understands that's what the people really want, and that the
Wow.
media is just gaslighting everybody. And her citizens of Italy are behind her, going, "Yeah,
We're here.
exactly.
Yeah.
We've never thought this. The media
Yeah.
keeps telling you we think this." And last time we had a fairly fair election. I say fairly fair because it
Right.
wasn't 100% fair. So
We
um,
all know that was
right.
I think at least we all should know by now.
When the only states that she won were the ones where there was no voter ID requirement,
Right.
there's coincidence and there's evidence.
Right.
So anyway, but it was fairly fair and it was a landslide and it was a mandate. And I mean, these are people who, are free thinkers. These are people who have been Democrats, who have been liberals, who are going, okay, now if I'm going to be a moderate liberal, I'm no longer a Democrat. That actually makes me a Republican now
Right.
because the parties have shifted so hard and
Right.
and changed so much. Even after the election, you had very strong, very well liked, popular Democrats who won big in their elections, but they were not willing to back the trans agenda of saying, hey, men should be able to compete in women's sports. And the Democratic Party attacked them
Right.
and said, you're no longer going to caucus with us. You're out. Censor the guy. I mean, like,
Mm-hmm.
okay. So the insanity, my point to all this, I'm not just, waxing
Yeah.
on, is that so much of this comes from our media. And we've been screaming about it for years, but people are starting to wake up.
Yeah.
They're starting to see, even folks who have been on the left very strong are going, I've been lied to. I've been
Right.
lied to a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And when you realize that, yeah, it's kind of embarrassing and it's kind of hard because you believed it, but then you go, wait a minute, why would I have not believed it?
Right.
This is the news telling me this. You know what? You
Mm-hmm.
lied to me. Now I'm mad.
Yeah.
And so they were embarrassed, but now they're mad. And they should be.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm
And it's,
really, I haven't gone down the rabbit hole of Britain. That's terrible. That is terrible. And we're probably not hearing enough about it because that's going to hurt the agenda. So
yeah.
I'm sure it's kind of tucked away and it's one of those things you kind of have to look for it. But things are changing. We just had the greatest revival. I mean, Sunday
Hmm.
was huge. Sunday was huge. And if that wasn't a middle finger to Satan, like I don't know what could be. So, I mean, you watch the movies like where they throw holy water and the demons are screaming. I feel like every time we're having these honest conversations, every time we're willing to even take the time to research this. Like I've never researched this. I've been curious every single day, but like actually researching what the big game plan could be cuz why matters to me.
Hmm.
It really does. Like
Right.
why are they destroying us? I get it. Satan's after us. Well, he's got plenty of people. He's greedy. He doesn't care about plenty of people. He wants all the people. He wants to win big. And the truth is they made it look like they're big, the extremists have made, the media makes it look like that power is big, and it's really not. It's not. It's just loud.
Yeah.
It's loud because they're insecure and now they're all screaming. And I feel like a lot more people are going to be acting out.
Yeah.
It's the ice shooter, right? I wanted to
Mm.
talk about that today and I forgot to even look it up. But I mean, we had a sniper turn a Dallas ice field office into a tragedy.
That whole thing, it happened in Dallas and in Fort Worth. I looked it
Yeah.
up because you told me you wanted to talk about it today.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad
it's
you looked it up.
it's all right. But you were over, dealing with Q. So I mean
Yeah,
that
right.
took you that direction. I got you.
Wow.
Um,
I'm never going to be the same person
it's
after today. Just wow.
the ICE situation
Yeah.
was insane because of course it's a far left wing zealot who is
Yeah.
anti-ICE. They just started taking shots at people. They have
Yeah.
killed some ICE officers, but the one I think it was one of those two locations where they
Yeah.
didn't kill any officers, but they killed all of the detainees in the vehicle. So in trying to wipe out these
Wow.
ICE officers and prove some point, they killed all the people they had arrested that they supposedly were supporting.
So this is the cabal's, it's a little sleeper activation, right? I know that I've heard my husband talk about this where they have like these sleeper agents. This backfired.
Or did it? Because I wanted to throw this at you.
Yeah.
Okay. This is someone who really was effective at wiping out the people in the vehicle that had been caught.
Yeah.
Were they going to talk? Were they
Ah.
not just illegal immigrants? Were they not just your run-of-the-mill illegals? Because Tom Homan's going after people who are on a list. He's going after
Ooh.
people who have, a lot of background, who are known criminals, who have serious
Let's
ties,
go Holman.
right? And
Wow.
all that's who these people were. These were not just your run-of-the-mill, oh, you had a traffic stop and you're not legal, so we're sending you home.
Yeah.
These were criminals that they were looking for. And
Hmm.
not one ICE officer got hit in all that fire, but all of those people are gone.
Yeah.
See, that's a hit in
Every
my mind.
there's no more coincidences, you guys. You
No,
guys understand that, okay?
that's
We're not going to
crazy.
just say that's a coincidence.
No, there's coincidence and there's evidence. Right?
And then the whole, didn't he carve stuff? I feel like he carved stuff in his
Put on the
in
bullets.
his casings too.
Yeah. Wrote it right in the bullets. Everything is designed to make it look like it's, I'm trying to, kill these ICE guys, right?
Right.
And oops, I missed and hit all the people I was trying to take out. I,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but assassins don't just miss.
No.
Otherwise, you're not the assassin. You know what I mean? If you can't shoot, you're not
Right.
up there trying to take a shot. I, you're not even putting yourself in position to do it unless you're proficient at it.
Right.
So yeah, it's just
My
when you start to really
question
break it down,
is,
nuts.
like, how do they get this guy to kill himself though? Like, how come they didn't get Charlie Shooter to kill himself? Like, how did that happen? How do they get them to do these things?
Right. So you start thinking about it. Was there two guys on the roof, and now there's
Right.
one who looks like he shot himself?
Right.
Right. There's a million places we have to go, and everything is a conspiracy theory because honestly, everything is a conspiracy right now. I mean, nothing is happening in our world that doesn't have
No.
some other agenda behind it. It's insane,
Yeah.
but it's all coming from somewhere, you know.
And everybody's self-serving. Like, even the people that you think this cabal is like working together for the greater of the great and outwitting the devil, it's everybody's out for themselves. These people that don't have the conscience, like they're out for themselves. So they will protect themselves at all costs. They'll self-serve. And I feel like sometimes it looks like it strays from their plan, but it circles back to the big picture,
Yeah.
really.
Well, Hollywood gets their ideas from real life, and
Right.
then they put it up on the screen because it's such a great idea, right?
Right.
And then when it happens in real life, they can go, look, that was in a movie. This is just a conspiracy theory,
Right.
right? So it's a whole big circle of life with where we live,
Yeah.
which is a little much, but
I'm just
you
saying we
have to think
watch
that
these
way, though.
movies. We watch these movies. We see the stuff happen. I mean, Simpsons. I I know words, you guys. The Simpsons are always seem to predict stuff, and I feel like it's
Yeah.
again one of those things where it has to be out in the open. I
Right.
feel like it's just an unknown, it's just that underlying unspoken truth.
Hmm.
So if you can see this and you can find the correlation here, you can't not believe in something like Q coming. You can't believe that all of us have just sat back and that one person didn't start an underground movement when there's millions of other underground movements happening. Like, why wouldn't the good guys get a movement? You know?
That's in every movie too. There's always a rebellion. There's
Right.
always the rebel army, right, with Luke
Right.
Skywalker on it, who are supposedly the good guys, right?
Right.
It's the tale as old as time, and I mean, the tail's been wagging the dog in our government for
Right.
generations and generations and generations. They've just gotten so good at it, and they control so much that they're just doing it openly now. I don't think anybody's
Right.
even hiding anymore. And like you said, they're just telling you right in plain sight, this is what we're going to do. So get ready.
Right. I mean, the
Insanity.
whole MK Ultra thing, like they've already confessed to the chemtrails. They've confessed to the fluoride. We know about Fauci's ghost labs. Like they're literally just messing with us mentally so that when they're ready, they get all of us. The subliminals. I mean,
Hmm.
I don't even know what I did a report on, but I went down this rabbit hole of what they have done. You know what they did to get people to start smoking cigarettes? I mean, it was down to every commercial was specific colors, specific
Hmm.
race, specific. All of these things happen mentally to manipulate people into something so small as smoking cigarettes, which is huge. I mean, it was huge. Like it ended up being a huge movement.
Hmm. For a
So
lot of reasons. Yeah. For tons of reasons. Absolutely.
mentally, they're doing the things, you guys. This is why I feel like big pharma is a huge part of this. And I love that Trump and RFK are calling them out because their funding, it's not going to what's best for us. We need to stop the commercials. We need to stop. Like my husband turns on some TV we got. It's like LG TV or something. It's just on the TV. Every single commercial is a big pharma commercial.
Right.
Every single one.
Take this
If
for
we
this. It'll cure it. But oh, by the way, it could kill you five
yes.
different ways. And yeah, right.
So if you guys are like you listen to this and this is how I was. This is how I was probably like a couple years ago because my husband was very it got to the point where I was like you can't even listen to anything political because like you're gonna go kill people. I was scared. Like he was so
Yeah.
I was losing him literally. I'm like just take a step back. And I would tell him like what can we actively do, because getting angry and going and shooting guns at the White House, like obviously you guys, we know that's not going to do anything. you know Someone, I was just like, how is someone not taking out Fauci? He's a murderer. Well, behind Fauci are about 20 other people pulling the strings, so what? Fauci gets murdered. Do you think this stuff stops? No. Like I just, all these things, like, is he ever going to face the death penalty for crimes against humanity? Is he ever going to face all of
Yeah.
these things? So I tell my husband all the time, like, what could we actively do? There's You can't really just go out and announce on Facebook, like, hey, let's start the Revolutionary War. Meet me at 3 o'clock behind the school. Can't do that. So I'm like, really, like, what can we do? And I'm telling you guys right now, like, get your health in order, get your house in order. You take care of you, you take power away from big pharma. And so that's little things like we were talking, like your wife would agree with me, right? The sun, being outside, putting social media away for a few hours a day, actually reading books, doing things that make you happy. Like all of this stuff is against everything they want you to be.
Yeah.
Part of that whole subliminal bullshit is everyone's stuck on TikTok, everyone's stuck on Facebook, everyone's stuck just doom scrolling, you know? So I say maybe you don't know what to do. Maybe you are pissed off and you're just like, what can I really do? Step one of today, you're going to decide, like, I really want to stand up for all this. Like, take care of yourself, get your health in order, take your power back
Yeah.
from big pharma. It's a little thing, but it's so big.
100%. Your health, your physical well-being, how
Mhm.
you nourish your body, all of these things are so incredibly important because it's what breaks you down and makes you susceptible to, I can't use words either, makes you susceptible to all of the other things that they're trying to hit us with. And we look at faith in the same way,
Right.
because, you're talking about nourishing your body and you got to nourish your soul because if your soul is empty and if you're not filled up inside with your faith, then
Hmm.
you're going to fill that with something and it's going to be something that's not good for you. You're going to
Right.
fill it with doubt and angst. You're going to fill it with bad food. You're going to fill it with alcohol, drugs, whatever it might be. You're
Hmm.
going to fill the void. So if you don't fill it with faith, it's you end up in pretty bad shape.
Right.
So yeah, I could not agree with you more.
And that's, I keep, because everything has gotten so out of control, we can hyperfixate on the borders right now because I do think, and our president agrees, that we do have to get that under control. But this has always been about, and the Bible is going to tell you this if you guys read it, it is get your house in order. Like
Yeah,
you take care of you so then you can take care of other people. You can't take care of your neighbor if you're sick. So,
no,
the people that are activists for other countries and they're like, I've been there, I did volunteer work, you know, you have a bleeding heart for another country. I think that's beautiful, but like bleed your heart out here first or like just go live there.
yeah,
Because right now we need to get our homes in order. Like we need to get ourselves right with Christ. And that, you guys, that is not an easy feat. That's an everyday disciplined commitment where, you're willing to surrender to just say, like, I'm going to study the word, right? And God, I'm a human, I'm messy, like use whatever you need to use. Like just make it about you, right? That's discipline. That is putting God at the center of everything you want to do. Get your house in order. Get yourself right with Christ. Then we can start helping our neighbors, you
yeah,
know? On
yeah,
the airplane, they're not like help everybody with their mask and if there's one left, grab it.
yeah,
We can help other countries when we take care of America, you know?
yeah. We can do a lot if we take care of America.
We could
If
do
we
a
take care of ourselves
lot.
first, you have to. No, I'm with you 100%. It's funny too because you talk about cleaning the house. Like you
Yeah.
gotta take care of yourself, take care of your own
Yeah.
house. If you just think about actually cleaning a house, I mean, let's just say you've let it go completely. There's toys everywhere. There's stuff, soot on the floor. I mean, everything.
Hmm.
You can't just walk in there and scrub the floors. First, you have to pick up all the clutter. Then
Yeah.
you got to throw away the garbage. Then you got to vacuum or sweep. Then you can go fix the floor. You know what I mean? And work on a foundation. So when I hear people tell me, well, politics doesn't matter and this doesn't matter and, the border doesn't matter and all this doesn't matter because all you have to do is just pray.
Yeah.
Listen, praying is huge
Yeah.
and you do need to pray.
Hmm.
But in order to work on your foundation and your faith and everything else, you've got to clear out the stuff that's getting in the way too.
Yeah.
So you got to fix immigration so that people aren't being killed
Right.
for no reason. You got to fix the economy so that I can afford to, I don't know, sit in a home safely and, pray.
Right.
Right. So it all works together. There isn't any one thing. And at the heart of it all, obviously, is faith in God and Jesus. But that's your foundation. And you can't
Yeah.
always fix your foundation if it's got clutter and everything else piled on top of it. Sometimes you got to clean the whole house.
And I love you guys. I'll say that. I love you truly, but like praying is not enough. And that's not, don't take my word for that. I mean, it's literally written in the guidebook to life, the Bible. Uh Prayer without works. What is that?
Right.
So it's praying, but then you got to meet God halfway. So how can he use you? How can he use you today to help us just get people to ask questions? Maybe it is far off, maybe it is imaginative, maybe it is a fantasy, but like I would rather focus on that than the shit fire that this group of elites satanically worshiping the devil, secretly controlling the government, engaging in that child trafficking, like they're manipulating world events. I want to believe we have a hero coming in. Again, not a savior, but someone who is going to lead the people. And if you look throughout the history of the Bible, God chooses leaders all the time that lead their people to wherever they need to be. So nobody needs to go crazy and say, oh, she's putting her faith in man. It's not about that. I'm saying God is going to use people to do what he has to do. You know,
Yeah.
I'm going to believe that there are some good guys out there. I'm going to believe that someone cares about protecting the sovereignty of the United States, who is willing to take on the elites. And I promise we don't even know their names. The Epsteins, the Clintons, like those are nobodies,
Right.
literally. You know, it's terrifying to think we don't even really know who these people are.
Yeah. It's both sides believe that there are elites that are running things.
Yeah.
Both sides believe that idea that you're talking about right now, that there's a small group of people who are really benefiting from all these changes and are really in charge of stuff. But the problem is that everybody believes that the elites are on the other side of the aisle from where they are. The left believes that the elites
Oh,
are on the
yeah.
right, and the right believes that the elites are on the left. And the fact of the matter is, the elites created the right and the left to get what they want.
Correct.
So again, you got to take care of your house. You got to pick a
Yeah.
side so that you can get through the clutter. But at the end of the day, when you start fixing the foundation, there really is no more right and left. It's, us and them is really
Right.
what it comes down to. And there's more of us than there are of them.
There is. And I just did I don't think I've told you guys. I have another podcast called Listen Bitch. I just did an episode there where I talked about modern day slavery and useful idiots
It's a good episode.
because that's where we are. Like, we're useful idiots. And some of us are extreme, but we've all played their game. And so, what if there are white hats that know it's not about the red pill or the blue pill, but it really is about taking down the devil, you know?
Yeah. When you ask why,
Yeah.
when you get into that why game that we were talking about
Mm-hmm.
earlier, when you start to ask why, and you say, all right, well, why this and why that and so on, like who benefits in the end from all the things going on? If it were just our country, you could say, well, it's the folks in our country, the president, the Soros, the Trump, these people, right?
Right.
But it's everywhere. So if you're looking at stuff where this is everywhere, it's
Mm-hmm.
international, it's global, it's happening all over the place. There really is no right and wrong that everyone can decide on. Everyone is completely divided. And you start saying who really does benefit. When you realize how big the problem is, that
Mm-hmm.
means that whoever's benefiting has to be that much bigger. And I don't know that there is an answer to that other than the devil.
Right.
I mean, because what's bigger than that, honestly, in life? The Prince of Darkness,
Mm-hmm.
the embodiment of evil, that is, that's where all this is
Mm-hmm.
going. So
And if
it's
you guys
not
think,
small.
yeah, if I get it that we gaslight ourselves to stay in this cozy little bubble of truth, and you think that if you just keep focusing on how safe you are and stay naive to the danger of what's happening, you're missing the entire point because I feel like every single day your soul wakes up and it's in the battle of spiritual warfare and we have to actively participate or you're doing exactly what the enemy would want. So it really is not even about liberals anymore and Republicans and Democrats. It's if I was the devil. You guys have to read that book, Outwitting the Devil. I'm gonna read it again just because it's been a while since I read it, but it is so perfect. The devil doesn't want the drug addict that's already lost to his habits, that's on the street, people video recording him, posting his videos every day. He got that kid. He wants you. He wants you. That's the challenge. He's got the extreme liberals. He's got them. They're mutilating bodies. They're killing babies. Like he's got them. He doesn't care. He's disgusted. I guarantee he's disgusted by most of his work. But his real challenge is to get you to be complacent, to get you to stop taking massive action in your life to step into your responsibility, is getting you to think that a relationship with Christ is just warm fuzzies and all we're going to do is just pray. Like that's what the devil wants. He wants you complacent. He wants you to think that just believing in God is enough. It is not. We have to use the weapon we're given. So I'm going to say it. If you're not reading the Bible, you're defenseless against so much bullshit that's out there right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You just summed it up really, really well.
Yeah.
The proof for all that is that the parties have totally changed. If the liberal side had always been the liberal side and the conservative side had always been the conservative side, then
Mm-hmm.
maybe you could point at it and go, it really is just politics. But when I was a kid, and I've been on the earth a long time, but when I was a kid, it was the Democratic Party that was looking out for the average person. That really did happen. That
Right.
is how it used to be. And over time, I've watched it change and shift and everything else. And now, current day, they're the party of the extremists. They're the party of the
Yeah.
elites. And it's the Republican Party that's shifted and is trying to take care of the average person.
Right.
That doesn't happen unless some power above that is intentionally tipping those scales and changing those balances. It
Right.
doesn't just happen. Nothing just happens.
No.
Everything in our world is by part of the grand design.
Right.
This is the machination of the grand design that we're watching. So, that's why even though we may be sitting here talking about the right and the left, we're talking about the right and the left in today's context.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean that, Democrats are bad, or if you voted Democrat 30 years ago, you're bad. It just means that's what the parties stand for today. And you got to clean off the ship first. You got to clear the deck
Yeah.
before you can fix the foundation. And we can't do that right now with all of the evil that's being propagated by one of the sides. So, I guarantee you 20 years from now, this will all have changed again.
Right.
If that's what the power that's all the way up here needs to
Mm-hmm.
happen to make it happen. So it is about light and dark. And it has been about the fight for Christianity since the very beginning. And it
The
still is
beginning.
now.
Mm-hmm.
Still is now. That's what it all comes down to. And I guess that's the message I want to make sure we're getting across.
Yeah.
We're not just sitting here cherry picking right, left, right, left. That's not what it's about. The stuff that's in the way happens to be coming from the left right now.
Right.
Could just as easily be coming from the right.
We're
Plenty of
all
folks on
useful
the right.
idiots.
Exactly. That's why I
Yeah.
loved that episode so much.
Yeah.
The folks on the right, there's plenty of them over there that are not Christians. They're not Christian based. They could care less, but they're just towing their party line.
I mean, our government
It's nuts.
has people claiming Republican Party doing the devil's work. So it's not a clear line. I mean, are we naming names? Comey? I don't know. You know, he's up there.
He's getting his name named is what's happening now. So
And literally,
yeah.
like not
Yeah.
just on this podcast, kids.
Right.
Literally. But I
Right.
realized that last night when I do doing my Bible study is that the truth is God is moving in power and he's moving in order. So he's not hyping us up with promises. He wants us to stay grounded right now with responsibility. Like he's carried us out of so much bullshit. He has carried us out of everything. He has spoken life over our lives. I will never get over the fact that he literally sacrificed his son for us. I don't personally know a parent in the world who would be able to watch their child go through what Jesus did because they love us so much. Like I love people, but I promise you I'm not stringing up my kids for any of you. God did that though. Like because he's faithful, because he wanted us to have a chance at forever. We have to play the long game. And I feel like that's what Q is doing. That's what the cabal has done. And one of them is going to be moving in a way that's going to bring us closer to God. And one of us is going to make sure that we're staying separated from that. What do you guys need to do about this? You need to start walking empowered. You need to stop being afraid. You know how much it's going to matter in the grand scheme of things that you were afraid to have a conversation or to put up a post or to use your social media as a place to spark conversation, to wake people up. Saying that you're afraid of what people are going to do, like if you imagine you're standing in front of God, what does that feel like? If he's like, "Oh, you were too afraid, huh?" You don't really trust him, do you? So this is where we are going to hold our faith to the fire. Do you believe in God? Do you have faith? Then nothing in this world can hurt you. You're not a victim of the system. Stop handing your freedom over to the culture, the comfort zone you live in, to your pretty little toxic positivity bullshit bubble. Take the responsibility. You have to trust that his purpose, it's prevailing even when we don't see it. He's using everything.
Amen, sister. All the way. I think that's part of what we're doing here is we're trying
Yes.
to encourage folks to stand up, to stop hiding, and to, use whatever voice God gave you, use it. If your talent is writing, then write. If your talent is speaking, then speak. If it's being physically fit and spreading that word, whatever it might be. If
Mm-hmm.
it's teaching in some capacity, then teach His word, but do something. He's given you a talent. He's given you a vehicle. He's given you some strength in
Right.
you and a mission that goes with it. And we just don't put those things together.
We don't. And you guys can start so small right now. You can start so small by actually sharing out this podcast. Share the podcast, leave a written review. Make sure it's a written review because, in my experience, those are the things that are going to help us in our ratings.
Yeah.
We can't reach more people without you.
Right
So
on.
let God utilize you and empower you to be able to be a part of our witness statements here, to be able to share the conversations, to open eyes, because you know people that we could never touch without you.
Love it. Love it. You want me to go ahead and close out the gift for
Yeah.
today, or you want to
This was
finish something
so
else up?
good. I feel like I need a nap. I'm on a Q hangover right now. And I just
You have been on
am
fire
like, you
today.
guys, wow, this rabbit hole. I can't wait. I'm so excited for this podcast. I'm so excited for everything that we're going to get to bring to light. I'm
Oh,
excited.
me too. Thank you for asking me to be a part of this. It's a lot of
Thanks for
fun.
agreeing. Really, I'm still in shock, you guys.
Oh,
But yeah.
that's awesome. Um, you know, if I can close out, folks, I got to tell you, the biggest thing right now is that you speak up, and that's one of the things that Branden and I are trying really hard to model, to put out there, to lead by example, and to get you guys doing it. One way or another, you need to make your voice heard. Find your voice. That's all you got to do. And if you don't know how, or if you want help, or if you want to do a podcast, or you want to speak on a stage, or you want to, figure out how to do social media and build a platform there, contact us. We do this
Mhm.
stuff. It's what we do for a living. This is what we do, and this is how we do it. Folks, it's time. It's absolutely time. You got to wake up and you got to be heard. If you're not, you're going to find out later on that you are unable to be heard. So if you don't take the chance now, if you don't make that choice now, you're going to lose it. Don't be that person. Don't get stuck. Don't be stuck in fear. Trust him, believe in him, and he'll show you the way. And so will we.
That was perfect.
Appreciate it.
Love you guys. Have a great weekend.